Good afternoon. I hope you're all doing well. This is Press Play by Evie, and today's topic is No Man's Land. I'll start off by describing or defining what that is. So, no man's land refers to an area or a place that is ambiguous and not owned by any individual or entity. Specifically for this video, we're discussing no man's land, and as far as our minds are concerned, or being in a state of no man's land. So, this can represent a space of uncertainty, indecision, or a lack of clear purpose or direction. So, generally, when we find ourselves in this state, it makes us feel scared. We want to move quickly to find a solution for it, to become busy once again. And if you're not careful, we can get lost in being busy but not productive or having a desired outcome or output. And in the case where you do still get desired outcome or output, you might still be limiting it because you have not taken the time to process and accept being in this state and even thrive being in this state. So, how can we find beauty when we are in a space of uncertainty and lack of clear direction? We could start by learning first how to rest, proper rest. I don't mean sitting and watching a movie or Netflix, and I mean just quiet rest, and the kind of rest where you've given yourself permission to rest, rather than you're there seated, but at the back of your mind you're processing all the things you could be doing or you want to do. You're making plans, you're being uneasy about your current life, sometimes even reproaching yourself. But by complete rest, I mean being okay with being at the state you currently are in, having the faith and the trust in yourself and in God that you are moving into the next phase of life that will be better than the current or the previous situation that you've just come from. And taking that time to reflect, look inward, and connect with God, with the higher being, so that you can begin to gain a clearer sense of direction and purpose on what's the next move for you. And even if you don't have a complete map, you at least have a bit of the roadmap. And as you start walking that journey, then it keeps opening up and becoming clearer as you go down that road. I would advise taking this time to be an observer of yourself and not observing from a place of judgment, anger, frustration, fear, despair, but observing from a space of neutrality. And when a thought crosses your mind, you acknowledge it, you even say thank you for that thought. However, you do not dwell in that feeling, especially if it evokes negative feelings from you. Rather, you acknowledge it, you let it pass, you observe to understand why that thought came up, and then you move on. For example, if in your current situation you're also struggling with having money or financial support, that's a really big one that causes a lot of stress, fear, anxiety, because we do need finances to be able to live our lives on a day to day basis. When that fear comes, assess and ask yourself, why do I feel so scared about not having this money? So, could be I will not be able to pay my bills on time. There's some priority things I need to take care of, my basic needs and that of my family. And then ask yourself, in the past, how have you been able to make money? And why do you now believe you are incapable of making money? Again, it could be you've lost your job or your source of income, but you are the very same person that was able to make money before, whether it's through your skills, your talent, you sold something, whatever way in which you're able to generate revenue for yourself, you are still the same person, perhaps even better, because with the passing of time, there may be additional skill sets that you have gained that you can use to complement ways of earning money. So that will help you feel more comfortable, or at the very least, to trust yourself in knowing that there is evidence of you having survived and, in some cases, even excelled in providing for yourself and for other dependents. So that means if that evidence exists, you suddenly are able to create new ways of generating money. Then also coming to a realization that when your mind is stuck in the cycle of fear, anxiety, frustration, despair, you are not able to think through, to think clearly, to think neutrally on how to proceed. You're not able to connect with yourself and with God so that you can gain the confidence and the trust you need to take action that will be beneficial for you in terms of generating revenue and just generally living a peaceful, happy, content life. And recognizing that also this state of fear keeps you stuck, and at no point has fear ever generated revenue for anyone. When you realize this, then you know it is to your benefit to feel the fear, acknowledge that it's here, and then let it go and say, okay, I'm afraid, and this is the reason why, but I do have evidence of times where I have been able to overcome situations that had put me in a similar state of fear. So that already is proof that I am capable to overcome this scary situation that I am currently in. And once you settle down, then your mind and your heart begin to open up to new ideas and new ways, new connections, and something will drop in. It will be you'll remember someone that you can give a call to ask, maybe it's for work or for guidance or to mentor you, or you'll remember sites that you've had that are posting jobs. You'll start thinking of things that you want to do creatively and how to do them online, or you could check free tutorials. You could reach out to a friend or a relative. You might also start having ideas of how to reduce the costs that you're incurring. Perhaps get a smaller home, or if that's not an option, sell something that you no longer need or use. Or if that's not an option, get a remote job. And the world will suddenly look like a place of endless possibilities rather than doom and gloom. As always, I'm very excited anytime I get a chance to come on here and talk about interesting topics, life topics. And I'm so interested in finding out those of us who are still in that space of lack of clarity, indecision, lack of purpose, fear, those of us who've overcome it, and also tips on how to just move through that kind of situation so that you come out at the end of it being a victor, having succeeded, having found solutions, even on a day to day basis. And for those also who have completely moved past that and have succeedingly been able to attract more revenue or more joy, more peace, more connections, greater relationships, whatever it is that you have struggled with and have been able to move past it. Please do share your comments, your suggestions, your tips, and as always, thank you so much for joining me here. I really do appreciate you and wish you a splendid day. Take care and bye bye.